Hi, I'm David, a young 20-something living in New York City, looking to teach myself to cook better food. So, I'm taking New York Times best-selling cookbook, Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat, Mastering the Elements of Good Cooking, written by Samin Nosrat, and I'm attempting to make 200 recipes in 6 months. So, let's get cooking. Alright. Yay! Alright, so right now I'm going to get started on the tomato vinaigrette. For the vinaigrette, we are going to be needing some red wine, shallots, balsamic vinegar, and then a big, huge tomato, a couple of basil leaves, and then some garlic pieces here. And then all we'll need at the end is just a pinch of salt, and that should get us through the entire vinaigrette. The first thing that it says that we're supposed to do is we're going to macerate our shallots and let those sit in some red wine vinegar. Red wine vinegar going in. Okay. So I'm just going to try and get all of the shallots on the sides into this. Okay. Great. Now that we have our shallots and our red wine vinegar mixed together, we're going to set this aside and let it sit on its own for about 15 minutes to macerate those shallots, and then we'll add everything together. Next up that we have to do, this is again the weirdest thing that I've seen, is we have to get these tomatoes and we have to grate these tomatoes, I guess wherever we're going to put our sauce, but I've never heard of grated tomatoes. So this is the only grating machine that I have, which is just a regular cheese grater. It wants you to use a box grater. I don't have that. So I guess here we go and just try and grate some tomatoes. Just grate it away. Oops. Okay, this is so weird, this is so weird, this is so weird, this is so weird, this is so weird. Down to the last tomato. The skins. It says that we should have about a whole cup of grated tomato. Most of everything else is, where's the balsamic vinegar go? Okay, so in the recipe, it doesn't tell you when to add the balsamic vinegar. So I'm just gonna add it in here, hope for the best. I lied. The vinegar is mentioned. It goes with the red wine vinegar and the shallots, which makes sense because they're both vinegar. So we're just gonna continue to add those. The shallots have been sitting here for about 20 minutes. I'm gonna put our shallots into our tomato vinaigrette, or tomato grated tomatoes here. I'm just gonna quickly mix those. Anyway, I had the fan going, and I've already mixed the shallots with the grated tomatoes. Right now, I'm gonna add a half cup of olive oil to this. 1 cup. And this is not gonna be a big enough thing. So this wasn't big enough, so we're gonna use a regular big bowl here to put everything in. So I'm just going to dump that in there, finish up with our olive oil. Now we're going to add just a pinch of salt. If we need to add more, then we'll add more. It says about 4 leaves of basil, so we're going to just get like 4 or 5 of those, and then just rip some of those up and just toss them in there. I'll just use this to spoon, or 2 minutes. I don't know where that was. It needs more salt. Okay. I'm gonna taste it. It needs more salt. It does, okay? So we're gonna do that, and mix. Wow. Man, how do you mix like the olive oil into this? We'll taste it again, now that we've added some salt. Okay, that's really good. Alright, that's fine. That's good. So I'm just going to Crush up our garlics. I feel like these are really tiny pieces of garlic, so I'm gonna do like a couple of these. Also, I love garlic, so I'm sure it'll be good. Crush. And ooh, crush those. We'll remove the garlic closer to when we're ready to serve the vinaigrette. Up next, while I'm letting the vinaigrette, the shallots, macerate with the vinegars, I'm gonna get our croutons working. I'm just gonna toss, as you can see, I have gotten some day-old bread, or it was bought today, but it's fine. And now all you have to do is just add some olive oil on top, toss it, and then stick it in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes or so. So, I'm gonna go ahead and get started with these here. And I'm just gonna drizzle some olive oil and toss some on the pan itself. So, some there, some there. I think I need more olive oil. Can you put some more olive oil on here? Please. Yeah, I guess so. Let's toss some in olive oil, I guess. Okay, give it away. Give it a whirl. I'm so behind, Jason. I'm so behind. I'm so behind. Hello! Okay, so croutons are done here. I've tossed them in the oil. They're all good. They all have been coated, and that's really all you need to do with the croutons. So now we're just gonna toss them in the oven and let them toast up. So, I've got the croutons out of the oven. Unfortunately, they got a little burned. Because my oven sucks. Because I didn't even leave these in there for as long as we were supposed to. I only left them in there for maybe 5 minutes and everything burned. But they still feel like croutons. I'm gonna give it a taste. They still taste really good, so I think it's gonna be fine. We're gonna put it in a salad, and it's gonna be great. But crouton, there we go. So simple. Just some bread, toss them up, heat them up. Love it. Oh, why is there so much? Okay. Okay. So we're ready to make our summer panzanella. It is a salad. This is a salad that we're going to be using for today. We are going to first get a large bowl where our salad's going to live. And it says we want to get half of our croutons. Half. And we're going to throw those in there, and then we're going to put that with some of the vinaigrette that we made earlier. So, don't grab burned bits, don't grab burned bits. I grabbed some anyway. Now that we have our croutons in a bowl, we're going to get our tomato vinaigrette that we made, and we're going to pour half of it on top of this. What did I do with the vinaigrette? Oh, it's right here. I have the vinaigrette right now. Didn't say half a cup. Oh, so I'm not going to put the whole thing of vinaigrette, or the tomato vinaigrette. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Ah! Hey. We have tomato vinaigrette. We're gonna put half a cup of the tomato vinaigrette that we made onto this bowl of half of our croutons that we made. So this is 1/4 of a cup, so I'm just gonna spoon that over on top. And then another. That makes half a cup. Now that we have vinaigrette and croutons together, we're gonna just toss those so that we get the croutons here kind of moist and mixed with that vinaigrette that we have. I hope everyone loves these burned croutons. And now, place the cherry and wedge tomatoes on top of the croutons and season with salt to encourage them to release their juices. And then let sit for 10. Why does everything need to sit for 10 to 20 minutes? Oh, I'm so annoyed at salad. Never make salad. Now that we have our vinaigrette with our croutons in this bowl, we we are going to get our cherry tomatoes, which I have here, and I've already halved all of them. We're gonna put those on top of the croutons. And then I also have other tomatoes here that I have halved and then wedged. And these are not cherry tomatoes, they're regular, like, small little juicy tomatoes. I'm sure they have a name, I don't know what they're called. With that, we are going to, so dirty. Why is someone here? We are going to put a pinch of salt on top of these tomatoes. And what this is going to do is this is going to sit for a little bit, and that's going to encourage the tomatoes to kind of like release all the water that they have in them, and then get the croutons even more juicy.
No one told me that salad would be this much.
Great, so we have our crouton tomato mixture that has been sitting here for the past 10 minutes, salted up. They're all watery and juicy now, I think. Yeah, it feels good. Okay. Now we're just going to complete and finish the rest of our salad. So I have cut up cucumbers already here, ready to go. That's gonna be added. I have red onion here that's very thinly sliced and has been macerated. That has been macerating in red wine vinegar for probably 20 minutes now. So hopefully those are fine. Get the rest of our croutons, dump those in. It's still a little burned. If it tastes great. Cucumbers. Oh, this bowl's not gonna be big enough either. Why do I have bigger bowls? This bowl's really not gonna be big enough. We're gonna pause. Okay, so that bowl wasn't big enough, so I just got this big old pot, I guess. We're just gonna throw everything in there and continue mixing this salad. So here we go. Same mixture with our croutons, our tomatoes, and then cucumbers all up in there. And just with our hands, scrape this. I wash my hands. I'm gonna now put our red, thinly sliced onions that have been macerating in the red wine vinegar in here. We're not gonna throw the rest of the red wine vinegar in that's in this bowl just yet. We're gonna wait till the very end. The only other thing that we need to put in here left is just, why? So many people who want to come in. I know I invited people. Please. We have about like 10 to 16 basil leaves that I've torn apart here, so we're just gonna add those to the salad as well. With that, we're gonna add some more of our vinaigrette on top, and then we're gonna mix it. And then as we go, after we put this, put a little bit of salt, and we'll just be adding more vinaigrette, some of the red wine vinegar, and salt until it tastes super delicious. So, put those. I just feel like it's easiest to mix everything with your hands. It's just, get everything. Great, everyone's here, nothing's ready. I'm gonna taste this. Well, that's good, okay. And there's more salt. And we'll just add more of this vinaigrette. We're just gonna do the whole thing because I made it, so why not? We'll mix with one hand so I can add some salt. Cute. Oh yeah. And then we'll just put it in the fridge and it's all done. Wow.